Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing Multi-Renbanification. Now, to come up with this particular thumbnail for this title, I actually needed to dig into what does Renban mean. And apparently, it's coming from a Japanese word. I'm just going to pronounce Renban. And it's meant to essentially mean something like a clique or a group or a party. So that's kind of the thought process that I put into this particular picture, that essentially Sleuth is there in some sort of a canteen. And as you often see in most environments, I was lucky enough that that wasn't the case generally where I work and kind of most of the time. But you're seeing, we'll call it cliques of how am I going to put this without coming across as racist? Groups that are coming together in cliques based on their race or color. That's kind of what you see there in the background is multi-Renbanification. And yeah, in general, I've usually found myself always an outsider to these groups, as someone that's grown up as an expat all over the world, traveled quite a bit. I've always never quite fitted with any one of those groups. But luckily enough, at least these days, I have a group of friends that are in the same boat as myself, meaning we're a collection of everywhere and everything that at least has made a home together. Anyway, let's not get philosophical, let's talk about Sudoku. This is what we've got. You can see from the thumbnail here, equality cages 1, 2, 6. I am going to warn you, this is a 3-star difficulty rated puzzle. And there's only been like 45 or 46 solutions for this so far. So I'm not even sure that the 3-star difficulty rated is representative. We may be onto something that is much harder. But if you find it difficult, just remember you voted for it. We said we're going to finish these puzzles no matter how difficult they're going to get. So this is what we're onto today. Let's take a look at the rule sets and the puzzle. So, equality cages 1, 2, 6. Multi-Renbanification by gUBBLOR and EFlatMinor. Now, I actually had to look up this kind of, there's an explanation of the multi-Renban in a second, but apparently it is a new variant. I'm guessing it's one that EFlatMinor has come up with, and gUBBLOR collaborated with him/her to essentially come up with this equality cage puzzle. So, let me take you through the rules in case you're not familiar with them. And I'm not entirely sure how they are going to play. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. We know what this one is. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each, in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Then we have equality cages. So, cages must have an equal number of low digits, such as 1, 2, 3, 4. High digits, 6, 7, 8, 9. As well as an equal number of even, let's say this is 2 or 4, and therefore odd, let's say this is 7 or 9. And that's going to be true for every one of these cages. Essentially, it's got an equal number of low digits, equal number of high digits, equal number of odd digits, and equal number of even digits. Two things that gUBBLOR has stated in here. Equality cages can never contain 5, that is part of the normal variant rule set, but also that digits may not repeat in a cage. And I guess we'll figure out why that is useful as we get onto the solution. We have, of course, our good old faithful Kropki dots. A black dot between cells indicates cells with a values with a 2 to 1 ratio. So if that cell here is a 2, this black dot connected cell would have to be in a 2 to 1 ratio. One cell is essentially double the other, so it'll be 1 or 4. A white dot between cells, such as this one in here, means that the cells are consecutive. So if this one is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3 for it to be consecutive. Not all dots are shown, so that 2 could have a 3 next to it without a white dot. That 2 could have a 4 above it without a black dot. That's all going to be fine according to the rule sets. We have V's. Adjacent cells connected with a V must sum up to 5. So we've already used the 1 and 4 in here. So if this is a 2, this would have to be or 3 to make sure that these two cells add up to 5. Not all V's are shown, so a 2 and a 3, for example, in here, adding up to 5 is not a problem. A 4 and a 1 in here, adding up to a 5 is not a problem. Now, last but not least is the multi-Renban. And you can see that today we've got these Renban-like lines, but rather than the normal, single purple line that is normally shown here, purple, pink, I'll call it purple, digits along each multi-Renban line contain one or multiple sets of consecutive digits in any order. So digits may repeat, but all the digits on the line must repeat the same number of times. So for example that is given here, for a 6-cell line, there's a few different ways we can complete it. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in any order, of course, so they gave us 6, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. You could also repeat 3 digits twice, so it could be 6, 6, 8, 7, 7, 8. Or you could repeat 2 digits 3 times. You can go for 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5. So, interesting variant. Looking forward to see how that plays out. And yeah, I've not come across it before. I've not attempted puzzles using it before. So strap in. This could be a long solve for you watching as well as you trying to solve it on your own. So, only thing left to say is, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below as usual. Otherwise, grab a popcorn, grab a drink, and watch me struggle probably for the next hour or so. Link in the description down below. Only thing left to do is for me to restart the clock, see how I get on. So I'm gonna think out loud before I even try and process what's going on. So I'm looking in general at the entire grid and thinking, right, where is kind of my break-in? And frankly, there's not a lot to go on. But 2 things are catching my eye. One is this giant multi-Renban line. And 2 is this other multi-Renban line that also happens to go through a V. And a couple of reasons why I'm actually tempted to go with this one first as opposed to this one is A, I'm not quite sure I quite fully understand the multi-Renban aspect just yet. And B, this is only ever going through equality cages in a V, and that is significant. That is very significant. And here, let me take you through my thought process now. We know that a V is only ever made up of one of 2 possible options. It's either 1, 4 or 2, 3. So you have 2 cells that add up to 5. So essentially 1, 4 and 1, 4, they will add up to 5. 2, 3 and 2, 3, they will add up to 5. The important part is that it's always low digits. Clearly, you're not going to make up a 5 from a 6. You're going to need a -1 to accompany it, which is not available under normal Sudoku rules, thankfully. Watch the space as a variant pops along that includes negative numbers, I'm sure. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells on a Renban, even if my smallest digit is a 1, what that means is I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including a 5. But because 5s are not allowed in equality cages, and they're clearly not allowed on Vs, I can't have 0 and 5 on here. What it means is that this is definitely a multi-Renban. I must be using the same set of digits twice at a minimum, because I need to essentially do something like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or, I mean, I've already dismissed it, or, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Only reason I'm dismissing is I've got 3 cells in the same row, so it is actually exactly 3 cells repeated twice. And all of these cells are low, because I'm never able to cross the threshold across a 5, including the 5 to get to a high digit. So all of these cells are low, and I'm going to use blue for that, which means that in these equality cages, these 2 cells are therefore high. You need to have equal number of low digits and high digits, and these cells are high. Now, I'm pretty sure I can take this logic a bit further. I think I can't do 1 and 4. So obviously I need 3 numbers, and I say 3 numbers repeated twice. because in row 3, we've got 3 unique digits on this multi-Renban line. So my options are 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. I need 3 consecutive digits. It still is a Renban line. Now, whichever one I pick, whether it's 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4, I can't make this V a 1, 4 pair. This is a 2, 3 pair. So that's one set of 2, 3, and then essentially I have another set in here, and then I have 2 of 1 or 4, and we're going to have to try and figure out which one it is. Now, whichever one it is, the fact that this is a low digit and then a high digit means that this can only be 3, 4, and this can only be 6 or 8. Any other digit such as 1 or 2 will only get me to a low digit. It's not going to get me to a high digit. So that needs to be 3 or 4. That needs to be 6 or 8. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take this logic much further, if I'm honest, just yet. I may have to already think about this Renban next, this multi-Renban. This is going to be fun. Right, so what do we know about this multi-Renban? This is a multi-Renban. This is not just a Renban. I can tell that because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 digits. And I'm not going to have the digits 1 to 12. I'm only allowing the digits 1 to 9. So my options for this multi-Renban is I have 6 digits repeated twice each. I have 4 digits repeated 3 times each. And I have 3 digits repeated 4 times each. And that's as far as it goes. I can't have 2 digits repeated 6 times because we've got the same sort of thing in here where I have for sure 3 cells in the same box. They must be unique. So such an option is just not possible. I'm fairly sure 3 numbers repeated 4 times, and this is why this is useful. Equality cage, the digits may not repeat in a cage. Look at this 4-cell equality cage. I know that I need 2 low digits and 2 high digits. Yeah, I've got it already. I'll tell you in a second, but have a think about what I just said. And I know that the 2 cells that are low and the 2 cells that are high are different because I'm not allowed to repeat any digits in this cage. So I have 2 of each. So 3 digits doesn't work. That will break this equality cage. Now, 4 digits, I'm going to tell you already, doesn't work either. And it's for a very simple reason. If I need to have a Renban, I need to have a set of consecutive digits. If 2 of them are low, let's just pick randomly. These are the 2 low ones and these are the 2 high ones. Best case scenario is this is 3 and 4 and this is 6 and 7. How am I going to say and claim that these digits are contiguous? They're not. I need the 5 in the middle, which I don't have. And I can't have in the equality cages. So long story short, this multi-Renban line is 6 digits repeated twice. And they need to include at least 2 low digits, at least 2 high digits, the digit 5, and then another extremity digit around that group. So essentially, if I think about a number line for a second, I've got something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is that correct? That is 7 cells, yep. And I need 6 from that. So it's either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our mission now is to figure out which one it is. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. I'm definitely on the right track, I'm going to say. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to leave that as a reference, really, for yourselves if you're following this along. So I need 2 5s. This digit. I mean, because essentially, I have this group for sure, and then one of the 2 and 8, kind of like as a maybe. But importantly, I have the digit 5 twice, and this is our first digit. Goodness me, minute 8. These 2 cells are 5. Nowhere else on this multi-Renban line, equality cage, equality cage, equality cage, black Kropki dot, can't have a 5 on there, otherwise that would be 2.5 or 10, neither of which is allowed. So these two are a 5 for sure. This cell in here needs to have a low digit. And even if I use the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 run, 2 and 3 are not available. This is for sure a 4. And even if I have the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 run, I need an odd digit that is high. This is for sure a 7. So I've used the 4 once, I've used the 7 once. And I'm pretty sure this is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 run. And let me explain why. These cells have an equal number of low digits and an equal number of high digits. That's the definition of the rule of equality cage. So I'm just going to make up an example now. This could be 3 and 6. These could be 3, 4, 6, 7. So, just focus, ignore the greens, ignore the 2 and 8 for a second. And that's kind of using up 5 of my digits. The challenge that I have is, what do I do with this black Kropki dot? And I can't use 2 high digits in here, because essentially if I go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'll use all of my low digits between these 3 cages. The 4 once in here, the 3 once in here, and then the 3 and 4 in there. And then I'm left with 0 low digits in here, and then somehow I need 6, 7, and 8 to be connected via black dot, which is nonsense. So essentially, this is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 multi-Renban line. Now, I'm pretty sure this is 2 and 4, because I need to use low digits on this black Kropki dot. I don't have enough high digits. And then because this is a 7, and then the second 7 will be in here, this has to be a 6. And the 6, because it's even, has to be joined with an odd number from 2, 3, and 4 that is only the 3. I've already used my 2 4s. So now this is 2, 3 with 6, 7. Wow. That's hard work. That is hard work. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with some of these deductions that I'm making. Question is, where to next? I mean, I removed that kind of simple Sudoku, that 2. These are all correct pencil marks. We can get rid of this one. So am I bouncing back in here? Has this sort of restricted? I mean, it's definitely restricted my options quite a bit. This is, for example, a high digit, and I've already placed a 2, 3, and 4, and 7. For example, the 1 is in one of 2 cells. I still need to figure out if this is a 1, 2, 3 or a 2, 3, 4 run. And these are helpful. I don't know how helpful. Let's think this through. Let's think this through. Let's try this. So let's think about my options. If this is a 3, that would be a 6. Then I need another odd and even. And if that's a 3, if it's a 2, 3, 4 run, presumably that would be 2, 4. Hang on, if this is a 3, then I've used all of my 3s. Then I'm left with 2 and 4 that I need to place. I've used 2 3s. I need a 4 and a 2. I need a second 2 and I need another 4. So this would have to be 4. This would have to be the other digit. And then these would have to be 2 and 4. And because of that 4, that would be 4, that would be 2. And there you go, that breaks. So 3, if it's 2, 3, 4, doesn't work. Right, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. We're onto something, I think. If this is a 4, that would be an 8. And then I need 2 odd digits in here, and that would be 3, that would be 9. 7 is not available, and from 2, 3, and 4, the only odd digit would be a 3. Then I have 3, 4, then I have a 2, then I have a 4. It's the 2, 4 that keeps breaking. That's kind of what we're meant to pick up on. So this cannot be a 2, 3, 4 run, this multi-Renban line. It is a 1, 2, 3 run. This is essentially 1, 2, 3. That can't be the one, otherwise I can't have the second one in this multi-Renban. That has to be the 1. That can't be the 1. In fact, that is now a force. That is the 3. That's the only one. Because remember, that was 3 or 4. I just removed it for clarity. That is now a 2. That is now a 4. That is a 2. That is a 1. That doesn't help me with my 2. Oh, that 1 does help me here. That is a 1. These are 2 odd digits. These are 2 even digits. That's an 8. That's a 9. Right, we're up and running. I say we're up and running. We're limping. Like, at best. 1 and 2 doesn't help me because they're different parities, so that is different parities. So I don't know if it's 6. It's no longer 6, 8 or 7, 9. It's a mixture of them. I have 3, 6, 3, 6. These are 3, 6. I mean, these white Kropki dots are sort of shouting out at me, so I do need to think about them. We've placed the 4s. This 2 is done. Yeah, not sure. We can, of course, just carry on doing some nice, simple. So what are we missing in here? We're missing 2, 8, 9. That is not a 2. 1, you can see, is down here. 1 on this multi-Renban line feels unlikely. Because even if it is a multi-Renban line, like 1, 2, 3, that would be a 1. Well, it's either 1, it can't be a multi-Renban line because I can't have a 2 on this side because of this 2. So it'd have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's possible, but it's very tough. It'll be a 1 in here. Because of this 2 in the equality cage, this would have to be a 2. The 2 would be down there. The 4 would have to be specifically in here. So, I mean, you can see it's achievable, but very tight. Very tight. So, unlikely. Let's maybe do... I mean, I did say we should take a look at these white Kropki dots. We may as well. This 3, 6 in here. In fact, this multi-Renban line. So if this is a 3, it can't be 2 or 4 on this cell. It would have to be a multi-Renban line genuinely with a double 3. If this is a 6, this of course could be a normal Renban with 5 and 7 as the option, or is 6. So that's fully pencil marked now. These white Kropki dots I kept talking about, if it's a 3, 2 is not available, but 4 is. And if 6, 5 and 7 are both available. This cell in here, if it's a 3, 2 and 4 are available. And if it's a 6, you can see 5 is not available, but 7 is. This is not helpful. Well, it's not helpful yet. I mean, I'm sure it's there for a reason. Excuse me. Maybe some more Sudoku. Maybe. Such as, where does 1 go in box 5? It's not these cells. It's not any of these cells. That's the only place for a 1. We've got 2, 8, 9, 3, 6. These, I guess, are 4, 5, 7. In fact, where does 4 go now in box 5? Well, it's none of these cells. This is the only place where it can be a 4, which makes this a 3, which makes this a 6. And now to finish this up, where does 5 go? 5 has to be in here. That's the 5. That's the 7. So yeah, that 7 is helpful. The disappearance of the 7 from there Pretty sure makes that a 3. Can't be a 6. That is now a 6. Remember, on this multi-Renban, I couldn't be 2 or 4. That is now a 3 as well. In here, I have 1, 2, and 4 with a definite 1. In here, I have 7, 8, 9. Equality cage in row 3. You can see these two. Well, 1, 2, and 3 are not available, so this is definitely a 4 with a 7, 9, and a definite 4. Pretty sure that this Renban cannot reach a 4. Even if this is a 7, I mean, best case scenario, this is 8, 7. So 8, 7, 6 doesn't get me to a 4. This is not a 4. This is 7 or 9. This is a 4. So my options is, yes, this is in fact a multi-Renban, because if it's not, it'll have to be 9, 8, 7, 6, which it isn't. So these two cells are essentially repeated on these two. That is essentially, that means that this cell, sorry, let me see if I can explain it correctly. This cell, these two cells have to repeat in here. Sorry, I am going to color it. I'm just, it's a tough puzzle. I'm no longer able to communicate effectively. That's what I meant to say. This is orange, this is purple. Therefore, this is orange because of Sudoku, and this is purple, which means these two are the same. This is not an 8. I don't need the color, but that was essentially what it was communicating. Fairly sure I can't have 7, 9 on here. One of them has to be an 8, so it's either a 7, 8 or 7, 9. It still is a Renban. So that's 8. That's 8 again. Then we have 7 or 9, and this is not an 8. I may have to check out more of these multi-Renban lines later. I'm sure there's going to be a few of them on Logic Masters Germany, but this is, it's definitely making you work. I say you, me. 3 is in one of 2 cells in here. This 8 tells me this is not an 8. These must include a 6 now. Because remember, this is odd and even. That means this has to be odd and even. So this is 6, 7, 9 with a definite 6 now that the 8 is not available. Then essentially we have 3, 5, and a 7, 9 between these cells. But I'm not going to pencil mark the options. I mean, this is quite limited because of the 5, 7. It's 3 or 9, but doesn't feel like the right next step. This 3 is doing more work than I thought. Neither of these are 3s. Means that there is 3 in here for sure. That 3 tells me that's not a 3. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, that is not a 3. That is the 3. One of these two is a 2. Kind of tempted to say big whoop. Not exactly helpful. I think I said it already, but this is a tough puzzle. This 3, remember that multi-Renban line and we're saying that it's very unlikely to be a 1. I mean, these two 3s. The fact that I can't have a 3 anywhere on this Renban line anymore tells me that can't be a 1. Hopefully that's a bit clear, because even if this is a 1, 2, 3 multi-Renban line, or if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, none of these could be a 3. It's either in the same box, same row, or same row. That's not a 1, that's a 1. I can actually place more 1s, maybe just a bit of Sudoku to tidy up. It's not a bad thing here. The fact that I can't have a 3 on this, so my options now still include 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or a set of 3 digits, which could be like almost anything, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, repeated twice across these 3. So we'll clearly have to come back to this because there's too many options just yet. That 3 gives us more 3s though. That's another 3. 3 in here is placed. Are we actually almost done? Well, 3 is definitely inside this box now. So this is 3, 6, 8. Just 3's eliminating all of these, and this 3 eliminated that 3. Well, we had to have a 1 anyway in there. So that's a 3 inside this equality cage. How are we for time? 23 minutes. I am going to have to walk the dogs in in like 20 minutes. I'm really hoping, though, that I can actually solve this before then and not have to try and sort of regroup and recollect my thoughts after a half-hour, 1 hour break. What am I doing next, though? I mean, this equality cage is not useful yet. I mean, it's got 2, 4, which means it's got a 7, 9. That's not very useful. It will be eventually, it's just not very useful right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me just have a think for a second. What am I missing? Normally when I say that, I look for Sudoku and it helps. I mean, it kind of might help. Right, I'll just sort of tell you what I'm thinking. Right, so 4 in box 7 has to be in here. 5 in box 7, because none of these are 5s. None of these are 5s. 5 ends up on the Renban, which is very interesting. So the 5 is definitely on here. So this is still... So this is at least not like 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. There's a 5 on the Renban, but I could still do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5... It can't be a repeat. I can't do something like 4, 5, 6. No, it can be a repeat. I could do 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, I can do that. 6 would be here. 5 and 7 there. 5, 6, 7 in here. No, that is possible. It's just that the fact that there's no 4s on this side tells me at least that it's not a 4, 5, 6 run. 4s seem highly likely on this Renban. This can't be the way to go about doing this. I've clearly got to do a bit more Sudoku and a bit more thinking elsewhere. I'm just, for some reason, not seeing it. And I'm not seeing it because I'm not thinking very clearly. For example, I can't have a 2 on this Renban because, 3 is not allowed. 2 is not in here. 2 is not there. That's a 2. 2. That's not a 2. That is a 2. That is not a 2. That is a 6, 7 pair, which gives me a 9, which gives me another 9 because that's a Renban, a multi-Renban that needs to repeat. That becomes a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not too sure again. What are these? There's another 8, 9, and a 4. No, not a 4. A 6. So there's a definite 6 in here with another 8, 9. No 2 4s, we said. And yeah, no 2 4s. So there's a set of 2 4s in here. 2 of them, in fact. In fact, this column now that I've sort of cleared up the 6, 7 pair, these are 1, 2, 4s. That is not a 1, though. Yeah, this equality case might be useful now. So my options are the second 2, 4 is in here. which would make this 7 or 9. It's clearly not a 7, so that would make this a 9. The other option for the low digit is a 1. Remember, this is a 2-4 pair. And if it's a 1, I need to have an even digit, and the 6 is gone. That would have to be an 8. So that's a complete pencil mark in here. Now, can it even be an 8? I've got 3, 6, 8. I mean, if that's 8, that would be 3, 6. That would be a 9. That is possible. Then I'd have a second 2, 4 in here. And then 5 and 7. Yeah, all looking achievable at the moment. 7 is, again, quite restrict. No, 7, hang on, is up here. I've already placed a 7. Nine is in one of two cells. Right, 9 is interesting. 9 is very interesting. 9 in box 9 is not here. More importantly, it's not in the bottom 3 cells. 9 in box 7 is not in the bottom 3 cells. 9 has to be in here in box 8. This is not a 9. Nine is on the Renban. Still, I can do 7, 8, 9, and then 7, 8, 9. No, I can't. I have a 5. I have a 9 and a 5 on this Renban. This is a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Renban, which means that is not a 4. Since I have the 5 in here on this Renban, I don't have it in here. That's a 5. Because I can't repeat it in here. This is now a 4-5 pair. The 7 has to be on here, joining the 9. No, I went too quick here. Why did I remove a 9 on this cell? Oh, yeah, because of the 9. Yeah, that's good. In fact, I can probably, I can corner pencil mark these 9s now. I need 7 and 9. I need 7 and 9 more broadly in this. Yeah, so this is, I need them on the Renban, but also in the box. So because there are no 7s in here, that's the 7. So now I need this to be the 6, 8, and it has to be essentially this 6, 8 to get the full run on this Renban of 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I've got 3, 6, and 8 in here. This is 7 and 9. Yeah, that's 7 and 9. 3, 6, and 8. That's a triplet. That's not an 8. That's 2, 4. That is a 9. That's a 7. That's a 9. That's not a 9. That's a 1, if I trust my pencil marks. That 7 gives me a 6. A 7, that 6 gives me an 8, a 6. That 6, remember, has to be on this Renban. It can only be in here. This becomes a 3, 8 pair. This is now known. That is a 5. And then to complete the box, that is an 8. Now we can complete column 9, or at least pencil mark column 9, because we've got a 2, 4 pair in here, so we know everything. Where does 1 go? That's the 1. That's not a 1. That's the 1. That's not a 1. These two cells are 5 and... I mean, I already spotted the 5. That 5 is not here. That's the 5, which means the 5 in this column is... That's the 5. That is the 6. This is 7 and 8. That 7 tells me that's the 7. That's the 8. That gives me the 3 and 8. That 3 gives me the 2 and 3. That 4, 5, 7. I still don't have a clue about. Okay. These two cells, I mean, may as well just tidy up what I've got going on in here. This is another 7, 9. That's the only place for an 8? Yeah, that is a 9, that is an 8. I said 9, not 0. How am I not resolving these? Maybe something else that I should be looking at. There's a second 2, 4 in here with an 8. And that 8 tells me that's an 8. That's a 2, 4. Still don't know what this is, 2479. It means that essentially that's a 6. Hopefully that was clear. Essentially I've got another 2-4 in the cage, another 7-9 in the equality cage. These were my only options in the equality cage. Only place for a 5 in row 1 now is in here. How have I not resolved these 7-9s? What am I missing? Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. Maybe this will help. What is this cell? This is 4, 5, or 7. It is not a 5. I've already placed that. That is a 4. That is a 7. That is the 4. That is the 5. That is a 9. This thankfully unwinds these, so at least I know I'm on the right path. That's a 7. That's a 9. See, nothing like a bit of pressure to say, you know, get this sorted, Sleuth, so that you can actually walk your dogs. 7 and 9, they're not in this cell. It is in here. That 9 tells me it is a 7. And this is 2 or 4. That's not a 2. It's a 4. Right. We can resolve this. 2, 4. And then to finish up, I've got 2 and 6. That's the 2. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's the 6. Yeah, solve counter. I'm number 46. Is that the number of US presidents? Or am I just misremembering this? Maybe. Anyway, gUBBLOR, EFlatMinor. This was, well, it was more approachable than I had thought, if I'm honest. Coming into this puzzle, I was looking at this thinking, this is really making me scratch my head. I'm not sure I'm onto the right path, but I think just a little bit of thinking between these gives you enough confidence to sort of understand this new variant and actually sort of crack on. And obviously familiarity with equality cages and how they interplay, and just that really does help. Anyway, hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle. It's a tough one, and the video, I think it was a reasonably good solve by me. But as always, I'm sure that there will be some comments about where I've missed Sudokus. I've been known to do that. Stick around for more difficult puzzles this weekend. Bye-bye for now. See you soon.